Good evening, friends. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5. This is a Don Lemon Show, our live version that we do every day at 5 p.m. Eastern, a big show. So let's get right to it, okay? The cruelty is the point. That's what the point of all this is. That was a title of perhaps the greatest single essay written about the first Trump administration. That was by The Atlantic's Adam Serwer. President Donald Trump and his supporters, Serwer argued this in that column. They find community by rejoicing in the suffering of those they hate and fear. It's hard to take issue with that claim, especially if you're thinking about, let's think about the reality of this. If you are watching how Trump is demanding that ICE agents create a made-for-TV moment or made-for-TV moments during their immigration raids, this mass roundup of immigrants around the country, taking reporters with them. He wants the ICE agents to dress the part for the cameras. He wants videos of people crying and screaming to put out there. He wants families torn apart. He wants people dragged out of schools and churches. And most of all, he wants you to watch, reportedly, all of that, powerless. Yes, the cruelty is the point. Let's take you through the day and get you caught up before we speak to our Lemon Legends. Our Lemon Legends are on the screen. There they are. A group of folks who are at the highest tier of our memberships. We're so glad that you are there. They're going to be have the opportunity to be on the show. We're going to hear from them. We're going to get feedback on the day, the week before, and everything in the news that they want to talk about and that you want to talk about as well, and the folks who are just watching and in the comments. This is a roundup of the day to get you started. This is from our friends over at MSNBC. Watch.
100 active duty U.S. troops deployed by the president arrived in El Paso, Texas yesterday.
ICE walked in like it was their empire's own conquered land. They were heavily armed. There was no prior announcement. They were blocking off entrances and exits. They were scrambling up delivery ramps. They were banging down bathroom doors to make sure no one was hiding inside. They did all of this without being unable to produce a single name or a single warrant.
According to the mayor, a number of undocumented individuals were detained, as well as a U.S. citizen, a veteran of the military who was pressed about his military documents.
In the past 24 hours, or as of yesterday, they arrested over 500 migrants. By comparison, for September, the average number of migrants arrested by ICE in a day in September was 282. So they've almost doubled that, at least from their average. They also were using military planes to start to deport migrants. That is new. The very image of seeing migrants walk into those planes, that is something that's part of this shock and awe strategy. And then the workplace raids. That's not new to Trump. Of course, there were workplace raids under the Trump administration, many under the George W. Bush administration, but they did not have them during the Biden administration. The Biden administration focused instead on employers that were hiring undocumented immigrants and had a pattern of that rather than on the migrants themselves. They're also doing a lot of collateral arrests. So if they find people in the middle of their operations who are not considered criminals, but they are undocumented immigrants, they are arresting them as well.
So it's not just folks that are criminals. They're arresting them as well, which it sounds to me like a way to give themselves an out for just rounding up everybody. They can just say, oh, they were caught up in it, and we found out that they were undocumented, so we arrested them as well. Kim Page is here. She's a member of our Lemon Legends. So is Maureen Marfell. So is Natasha Williams. So is May Money in the building. And Warren A. joins us as well. And we'll be joined by maybe another Lemon Legend. I just want to ask, Kim, since we have you here, and you're at the top left here, as you are watching this, the day go by, is the cruelty the point you believe?
I do think so. I think he proved that the first time around. And when you're looking at the fact that what they're telling us again and what they're doing are two different things. Again, like you said, they claim that they're going to deport criminals first, yet I'm wondering why they're showing up at elementary schools. Again, I'm so in fear that we are going to see these children that are traumatized by this. I did see a segment where a woman was talking about the fact that her father of 30 years living here in this country was taken and deported. So this is just more of the same that we saw in 2016, but I am afraid it's going to be worse. I'm afraid. It's hard. Today was hard to watch. Really hard to watch.
Natasha, was it hard for you to watch?
Oh, absolutely, because this is not humane at all. It's like Tom Homan and Trump and all them, it seems like they're taking pride in it and they're getting a good feeling off of it. And when I'm watching, I'm feeling sad for these people because some of them, like Kim just said, been here 30 years and they're just being uprooted and taken someplace else. And what do they have now? They're just uprooted. And it's just, they're focusing on the southern border. They say all this, it's always the brown and black, but I don't hear anything about the European undocumented. You don't hear anything about that.
You don't hear them rounding up people who have overstayed their visas, and perhaps it's some of the H-1B folks as well, and the many, many people who come over on airplanes and they overstay their welcome, and they are not, as we know now, what we know now, they are not rounded up and exploited and trotted out in front of cameras as if they're on a perp walk. The Trump administration, the weekend immigration sweep included nearly 1,000 arrests and have chilled many immigrant communities, were followed by another blitz, a barrage of video, as we're saying, exploiting folks, and photos from the federal government showing agents in tactical gear and vests emblazoned with police, ICE, and Homeland Security, taking cuffed suspects away. This is a made-for-TV moment that they're doing on purpose to put folks out there. Now, do you tell me perhaps there is some transparency in this because they have to conduct themselves a certain way in front of cameras? Or is this a made-for-TV moment, made-for-TV look of the arrest that is not a coincidence? Fox News went out with some of the folks and with some of the ICE agents. And here's what they found. I'm not going to play all of it, but just so you can see. You tell me if you think it's transparency or if it's exploitation and cruel.
Hey everyone.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
So, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies.
So those are the
sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration.
Thank you, guys. Those are the made-for-TV moments they're trotting out, and also putting the most violent of people, not the folks that I haven't seen it. I don't know if you guys have. Not the people that were caught up in this by accidentally, not the migrants or the immigrants who are contributing to the communities. We heard that bishop say last week, most immigrants in this country are here to be productive and are not criminals and should be treated humanely. Now, there are, sadly, we do have immigrants, undocumented. They're using the term, of course, on purpose, illegal aliens, which dehumanizes people, I believe, These are human beings. If you heard the farmer that we spoke to last week, these are human beings that they're calling aliens. And some of them, obviously, according to the reporting, are criminals. But why are they choosing Fox News? I didn't see any other news organization. Perhaps they called them, or maybe they called on Fox News because they knew Fox News would carry a certain narrative. Nicole Cox joins us this evening as well, a member of our Lemon Legends. Nicole, is this a made-for-TV moment? Is the cruelty the point?
Don, every single thing you're going to see for the next 4 years is a made-for-TV moment. Everything. There's an agenda, and you have to know that. Everything that you watch on mainstream media, and even the outlets that, let's say, are more truth friendly, they unfortunately are going to have an agenda as well, because their agenda will be to somewhat counter the agenda that's being spewed on the other side. So now this is, lean will have to counter lean. So either way you go, yeah, you're gonna get angles. You're gonna get angles. So it's up to the intelligence and the tenacity of the watcher, of the listener, to go in, sift through the information, do your own fact checking, do comparative analysis, and use we need a good old Don Lemon on our side, and several other reputable journalists to disseminate what is truth, what is fiction, and what is some
Propaganda.
Straight up propaganda.
Let me bring in Maureen Marfell. Maureen, you're out. You're in California. Lots of immigrants there, migrants. As you watch what's playing out right now, and again, no one can say that they want a violent criminal out on the street, right? We don't want violent criminals who are immigrants, who are undocumented, and we don't want violent criminals who are American citizens, who are natural born citizens of the United States as well. Now, do we see them rounding up average everyday citizens like this who are accused of committing crimes? We don't. How do you feel about this? You may feel a different way than what is being portrayed so far. What do you think as you watch this?
Well, that did look staged to me, not that it may have been true that those people, that they were criminals, I don't know. But from what I know in California, these people help me out, these immigrants. They do all the hard jobs. But I have a personal story. My nephew is married to a young woman who's lived here most of her life, but has never become an American citizen. And so it's pretty terrifying in our family right now to think that she could be, that something may happen where they take her in. Now, chances are it won't, but we don't know that. It's terrifying. I know other people that have people that work for them. My brother has a gentleman whose wife, fortunately, he took her over to Tijuana and was able to get her citizenship, and he had to pay $10,000 for that. The point I'm making, these are human beings, beautiful people that work here, that live here. Their children go to school here, and it's terrifying for them right now. We've seen this before many years ago in California where they were rounding up people. It makes you sick. You don't like to see it.
More made-for-television moments and how this was choreographed and produced. TV talk show host Dr. Phil McGraw. You guys know Dr. Phil of Oprah fame, right? Announced on social media that he was embedded with an immigration and customs enforcement team in Chicago as operations began. He released video showing him interviewing Tom Homan, interrogating, Tom Homan, who is, they call him the border czar. We don't have czars in this country, though. Interrogating a migrant. Watch.
Say the what? You have a first and last name.
Sam.
Say the Sam?
Yes. Where are you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where are you born?
Thailand.
You've been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charged for it?
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not talking about lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
You Dr. Phil. You look like Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, you know, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children. And he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really? And never been deported?
Nope.
Huh. Let's take them in and process and lock them up.
Got it, sir. All right. Is it a transport vehicle? Working on it. Okay.
Made for TV moment. A TV show, folks are saying. A TV show. Now listen, that person may be a violent criminal. We don't know. In this country, whether you are documented or not, you're innocent until proven guilty. You're innocent until proven guilty. Linda Furker says, why is Dr. Phil there? That is a very good question that I will ask May Money. Why is Dr. Phil there? And why isn't that person's face blurred out?
I don't know. That was all very confusing. That's a very good question, Linda Furker. I agree. That whole situation just made my teeth hurt. I'm irritated just by watching that whole thing. Dr. Phil, if you don't get on somewhere, like, don't ask people questions. Like, so I work at a school, and I just wanted to let everybody know. So I had to go through a whole training with, like, because my school district is a sanctuary district. So I had to do a whole training the day of the the day after the inauguration, talking about the rights of students and people that work at the school or whatever. You're not supposed to talk to. I mean, this is just a whole mess. And it just really, like I said, makes my teeth hurt. The only thing that you asked me earlier, or you asked us earlier, was, is this made for TV or is this just transparency? I would say it's both, because I feel like Dumpty Connell, his whole plan has been transparent. It's just nobody, he's been very clear about what he's been trying to do this entire time. So I don't know why we're all flabbergasted now. But it's also made for TV. So it works both ways. It's good for the television. That's why you got Dr. Phil looking like a clown over there. But also, this has been pretty much told to us a long time ago from the jump. So for us to be all surprised and flabbergasted now, it's too late now. Now we have to actually deal with this situation. So yeah, it's just irritating.
Well, let me ask you but let's play. I'm going to play another moment. This is Dr. Phil, another moment with Dr. Phil and Tom Homan. They talk about the raids together. So they're out there, they're interviewing people. It's like, I feel like, you know what I feel like I'm watching? You guys ever see the TV show Cops? It feels like I'm watching a version of Cops, and this is the ICE raid version of Cops, the reality show. And this is Dr. Phil, Tom Homan, who is head of in charge of the border now, speaking together about the raids. Here it is.
So forget the false narrative of sweeping neighborhoods looking for people of different color than us. Forget that hogwash and look at what we actually did. We're proving it to them. How can you argue with the system we've set up?
Well, straight up,
Are you going into schools and arresting children at schools?
No.
Is anything like that happening?
No, sir.
Are you going into businesses and sweeping through there and taking anybody with a tan and seeing where they're from?
We go into businesses for a criminal enforcement operation, but again, sweeps don't occur anywhere.
The sweeps are not occurring. You're just not going in like seining for fish in a pond and just picking up. You're going targeted. If a criminal is working in a business and you have to pick them up there, you're going in for that target.
Absolutely.
And what's happening to me, it seems that these politicians are creating what they fear the most, and that is forcing ICE agents into the community where they pick up the target and wind up picking up collaterals that may be around them, as opposed to going to the jail where they just get the target and leave.
That's the game they want to play, and so, game on. We're going to do it. I mean, it's all about public safety. We're going to take that public safety threat off the street by any means necessary. If we can't get in the jail, then we'll go in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and Chris, look, we've got two very high-risk apprehensions that are going down within minutes.
That's good. So
I can tell you that
you can see he's speaking to someone. He's probably live on his program or whatever, and you can see it is a reality show. This was coordinated. It was produced. Have Dr. Phil out there, right? So let's go. And they chose the conservative right-wing MAGA supporter, members of, he's not a journalist, hosts, and then the journalists, the reporters over at Fox News. What say you, Warren, as you watch this?
I'm taken aback. I'm more than angry. Dr. Phil just said anybody with a tan. He forgot to look into the White House. There's a criminal in the White House that has a tan. But in any event, it's like, you're right. It's a reality show, and I don't want to watch it. And I'm done. All what you're showing today, right now, this is the first time I've not turned. I only hear the news from this program, and it's unfortunate for me to have to hear that. And I'm very angry right now. But yeah, it's definitely a television program, and I choose not to watch it. I wish it would be canceled. But unfortunately, that's the way of the world now and for the next 4 years. But anybody with a tan, they need to look in the mirror, and because there's one in the White House that has one right now. And he's a criminal, and he's not being deported. So, but I'm just taken aback by it. And Dr. Phil, yeah, that's another story. I have to hold my tongue because I'm from the street, and sometimes some things are going to come out. I've been very good thus far, trying to be cool. So I mute my mic so you guys don't hear me. All right.
But the expression is written all over your face. So guys, if you're watching, if you're just tuning into our live stream, this is Lemon Live at 5. We do it every day at 5 Eastern. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you like, subscribe, and you can become a member. You can become a member. The information is pinned at the top of our chat on YouTube. If you're watching us on TikTok, thank you. We'll get to your comments in a moment. If you're watching us on Instagram, we're glad that you're watching. Facebook as well. And as soon as we're done with this, it's going to go up on Spotify, iHeart, and Apple Podcasts. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and make sure you do what? Subscribe to independent media, because Nicole Cox will tell you the importance of it. As she said, it's important to get your information from folks like us. Let me just tell you a little bit more about what's going on. Because as you have that going on, meanwhile, immigrants are petrified. A suburban Chicago woman said her father, a native of Mexico, had been living in the United States for 30 years when he was arrested Sunday after agents knocked on his door. Now, here's the thing. They're saying they're not raiding schools. Folks are saying they are. They're saying they're not going into businesses, rounding up people. There are folks who are saying that they're doing something akin to that. Again, that's what they're saying, all right? One undocumented man was taken into custody by ICE while attending church Sunday in Tucker, Georgia. Luis Ortiz was in the middle of his sermon when he saw the man being escorted out by the congregants. He was told that ICE agents did not enter the building, but asked for the man by name. Adult migrants have stopped going to work, and children are not going to school out of fear that they could be arrested at any time. little bit more that I want to read here. In the Atlanta area, the DeKalb County School District sent a note to school families advising them that the district will not voluntarily allow immigration agents into their schools. What a mess. What a mess. There's a TikToker. You know, I'd like to hear from real folks. Again, I went out again today talking to real folks, interviewing them on the street, and they had some very interesting things to say. Check that out. Look for it first on our social media sites, on all the social media sites, and then we'll play it for you here as well on the Don Lemon Show. TikToker says that we must protect our undocumented friends, treat them humanely. Watch.
I live in New Jersey, and there's news about ICE making raids up in Newark and in other towns and cities across New Jersey. It does not sit right with me, especially when they're not providing warrants and they're making huge mistakes. If ICE shows up looking for someone you know, did you see so-and-so? No, you didn't. You don't know where they are. You don't even know that guy. Protect your friends, protect your neighbors, and let's get out of this dystopian novel. What's next? The Hunger Games?
What's next? The Hunger Games, a dystopian novel. I'm going to ask you, Lemonheads, and folks in the chat, and I want to get your comments. Is there anything productive in this? They are getting people who are allegedly criminals off the street, perhaps. People who may be a danger to society off the streets, perhaps. Do you think there's anything productive in this? Kim Page.
And mute. I don't agree with how they're going about this. I mean, it is sensationalism. It is the reality TV show that Trump wants. He wants the talking points. See, I told you so. These are all criminals. Dr. Phil, his ratings must be really down for him to be pulling this. And I wonder, you know, he's asking the question of the people that are there, but is he actually researching what's really going on? And that's where I kind of discredit his whole thing.
Dr. Phil, by the way, I should tell you, is on a streaming show now. He's on streaming. He's not on broadcast television anymore, to my understanding. Right. And apparently he's streaming. I think the show, I think it's doing okay. I think it's doing fairly well. I'm not sure, but I just want to tell you that.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't, because today was the first time I saw Dr. Phil involved, but where's the rest of the media? They were not invited to this. And it did remind me of the cop show. I'm all for the criminals being deported. You know, that's fine. But they are not talking about the rest. The rest is not being talked about, and the Native Americans. So there's been an issue with question about Native Americans, and so the Navajo communities are terrified right now. So I don't know what the answer is. I'm all for the way they're going about it, as we all know, is just inhumane. Natasha, it was the first time.
Sorry, go on. Finish your thought, Kim.
No, it was the first time. And again, it's going to be worse this time, I'm afraid. But the one TikToker, I agree, we have to stand up for the people who are victims of this.
Yeah.
So,
Natasha, I want to speak of the humanity here, or the inhumanity here, because I think, look, it doesn't mean that we disagree or people disagree with having people be held accountable for breaking the law or breaking the rules, right? And some folks are okay with going to with deporting people. So it doesn't mean that you disagree with that, but it should be done in a way that respects everyone's humanity, and doesn't portray every immigrant or undocumented person or migrant as a criminal.
Exactly. I agree, because they're portraying it as everyone's this horrible criminal. And like you said, I think most of us, if not everyone, agrees with, hardened criminals. Okay, you do need to be deported. You don't need to be here. But there's people that have outstayed their visas, that just have been here many years, and that if there was a better way for them to be able to obtain citizenship instead of, shipping them off, showing, video footage of them being in the military planes and they're, shackled and handcuffed. And it's just, they're not treating them like they're humans. And like you said earlier, the way they refer to them as illegal aliens, that's terminology in the past. And it just makes them seem as if they're not human. And it does break my heart. And when I see that, it's just basically outright, wrong and racist at the same time.
James Brem joining us now
Yes,
as well.
sir.
James, thank you so much for joining us. James is also a Lemon legend. If you're watching, you're like, who are these people? These are people who are members of the Don Lemon Show. They have become members and subscribed and have memberships in the highest tier of our membership, which is Lemon Legends, and they actually get to be a part of the show. James, have you been watching this?
Well, it was a tough day. It was a tough day at work. I'm actually sitting in my car right now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I have been following it the best I can, and I think it's a travesty, especially going into the schools. And I agree with getting the criminals out and deporting criminals and folks who definitely have a known criminal record and have no business being here if they hadn't been vetted. But all the rest of this is it's just showmanship. It's look what I can do because I have power now, and playing to the base. And I find it deplorable.
Well, that word, got some folks into a lot of big trouble back in 2016. Here's another TikToker.
Well, guess what? It was said in 2016, and I'm saying it again, not for any reason, not to be divisive, but it's a fitting word for what we're seeing today.
Yeah. Someone else online, I believe it's a TikToker, who is talking about upset that his favorite restaurant is now closed, or people in his neighborhood are upset that the favorite restaurant is now closed. He's wondering, does anyone care about the human beings there? Here it is.
At Cilantro Taqueria, and I can confirm the place is closed. Did you guys hear? Yeah. I think I'm gonna sit here and just talk to people as they walk by and see if I can find anyone that seems to give a fuck about the people. So far, I'm batting 0-3. A couple of times I said, this is really bad. This is terrible. I don't like this at all. And one guy, he shrugged his shoulders and said, it's an unfortunate situation. Another guy said something like, well, don't do bad things. Somebody else was mad because they charged his credit card because they used their online system.
Does anyone care about the humanity, about the human beings? Go ahead, May Money. What do you want to say? You're muted.
Am I still muted?
Nope, we can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to answer your question about if this is productive. It would have been productive if they would have just continued building on what the past administration had. Maybe we could have some production, but what's not productive? Scaring people to the point where they don't go to work and everything's all closed down. Bursting into people's classrooms and that's not productive. Blocking bills that would actually help, that's not productive. Nothing about Trump is productive. And Dr. Phil being there sure as hell ain't productive. So I don't see anything productive anymore. If you would have just kept it the same way that it was before and then built on that, then maybe would have had some sort of produce here. Oh yeah, by the way, we ain't gonna have no produce by the end of this either. Keep playing. There's nothing productive here.
Here is what they are saying. They said ICE leaders are determined to increase arrests. Teams across the country have been given various quotas for the number of so-called high-profile immigration sweeps they should conduct each month, one source said, with the goal of being to beat the number of administrative arrests made by Immigration and Customs Enforcement last year. ICE's enforcement and removal operations conducted 113,431 administrative arrests in the fiscal year that ended on October of 2024, according to an agency report. That's about 310 arrests a day. Okay? So people were being arrested under other administrations. And remember, they called Barack Obama the deporter in chief, except they didn't push the cruelty in your face. Holman denied imposing any arrest quotas on ICE officers. About 11 million undocumented immigrants live in the United States, the Pew Research Center's latest estimates indicate. So I understand, Nicole, you want to get in because, as I said, other administrations deported people, except they didn't push it in your face where it looks like it makes it look like the cruelty is the point.
Because it is. This is, first of all, May, you need to drop this grudge you got against Dr. Phil. I don't know what he did to you, but y'all need to take it before the Lord. Don, this is psyops at its finest. That's what this is. This is psyops at its finest. You ask, is this profitable? Yes, because it's hitting its actual objective. The objective is not about, oh yeah, we're catching all the undocumented criminals, because you can catch undocumented criminals without all of this drama. That's not the point. The point is to create this psychological image and to emblazon that into the eyes and minds and hearts of the American people. They want this visual to just be streaming right into the forefront of your mind. This is your America now. And every person needs to see that. For the persons who think that this represents them, remember last time we were here, we talked about who's your avatar, right? There are certain persons within the country now who they think these are their avatars. You know, to them, this is just like playing Call of Duty. These people are going in the same way that they wish they could go in. This is what I would do. You doggone right. So these are their avatars. They are going in and doing what they would do. Just like the people on the other side would just be like, oh, this could happen to me. This could happen to my loved one. What if they don't stop here? How far is he going to push this line? This is psyops. So yes, it is accomplishing its goal. It's not about getting them out, just like you said. Other administrations have been deporting people, but not with all of this, because their goal wasn't psyops. Their goal was actual deportation. So the goal is being accomplished. No one's going to get this out of their heads.
James, since you are just joining, I want to give you another ample opportunity to be a part of the show. How do you think this is going to play in the country? Is this going to backfire, or do you think folks are going to love it? You're muted, James. We can't hear James now. Okay, so let me ask you, Maureen, how do you think this is going to play around the rest of the country?
Not well. All I see is a lot of fear for people. I don't know. It's so hard to speak to this. Truly, it just feels so awful. Why do we have to do it this way? Truly, okay, we don't want criminals here that need to be deported, but why do we have to televise it right away? Put all this drama into it. If you're going to go forward and do what you need to do, but let's treat it truthfully and leave these people alone that live here and work here and are good people. There's too much drama to it in such a short period of time. I shake my head. I don't think people should be treated this way. Where am I living right now? Yeah.
Well, as we've been saying, the cruelty is the point. Was there someone else trying to get in? No.
It was just me, I think. Can you hear me?
James, what do you think? How is this guy asked? How is this?
I apologize, guys. I'm in the car and I'm usually not on the phone doing this, but I didn't want to miss this topic because I find it, again, so important. Yeah, I think the sensationalism, I think it's all been playing out. I mean, this is what the base wants. They want the red meat of all of this. And do I think it's going to play in the long run? No. I think as soon as some of the farms start shutting down and the restaurants start shutting down and people see their neighbors, closed up in their houses because they don't have food or their kids can't leave the house, so they're hiding in the basement. Hopefully it's going to click that humanity will win. And I did see a report with some people in Chicago bringing food and supplies to their neighbors who are hiding out because they were afraid of ICE coming to get them, et cetera, even though they've all been here forever. It's got to be a horrible, horrible way to live. I mean, I've been suppressed, you've been suppressed, my kids have been suppressed, but it's just, I don't know. I have no words. I have no words.
Someone who had a lot of words, well, not a lot of words, but wanted to get her point across on social media and just convey to the public the sorrow and the anguish that she was feeling around this issue is Selena Gomez. You guys know Selena Gomez is, right? The singer Selena Gomez. And she posted on social media, she breaks down over these ICE raids, and I'm going to tell you about some of the hate that she's been going through. And I want you to respond to what she's feeling, but also some of the hate that's being posted about her online. Here it is.
Just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
That's Selena Gomez. Obviously, very taken by it. I believe Selena Gomez, I know, is of Mexican American heritage. And it's obviously hitting folks who are immigrants or come from immigrant backgrounds very hard. I just want to put one up, okay? And folks are saying, why does she care so much? Okay, and this is a kind one. It says, Selena Gomez's Mexican grandparents crossed the border illegally and after many years were granted citizenship. And then you have people on here wondering why this is so close to her heart. That is a tweet. Do we have the tweet that shows that? And it says, I can't even imagine what these kids being separated from their families are going through. And what she has said. Now, there are other folks online. Conservative commentator Matt Walsh added, move back to Mexico in solidarity with them. That's something you can do. Samantha Hernandez on Twitter with a blue check mark says Selena Gomez is a billionaire who is surrounded by security, has zero idea of how dangerous a country has become due to illegal immigration, doesn't care enough about American women or children to know they've been getting R-worded and murdered at the hands of her people. And then goes and whatever, and then goes on in that tweet. Charlie Kirk, the founder of Talking Points USA, or Turning Points USA, TPSU, isn't that what it stands for? Took things a step further and questioned why Gomez did not speak out about U.S. issues said to stem from the southern border. That's what she's getting online. Brad Hombre says, hey, Selena Gomez, how many illegal aliens are you providing safe harbor to in your 11,500 square foot home? Tudor style Encino mansion. Looks spacious. So then they put her house online. And then there were countless others who were on right wing, who were on TikTok and others on other social media sites who chimed in. Doesn't she have the right to be able to speak her mind, Warren? And if she, just as others on social media are able to speak their mind, why are they going after someone who has a connection to the immigrant community and who's pouring their heart out and sobbing online? It doesn't matter how much money she has or how big her house is. Why are people so cruel?
Don, unfortunately, I can't speak for those people because it's like they really don't care. They, here again, it almost came out. They really don't care. It's just evil in this world right now, and not just in America, but in the world. And I'm a boomer. I remember a lot of things that are happening now that I didn't understand then, but I saw it and witnessed it with my own eyes. This whole immigration thing, that was not part of my upbringing. I never really encountered that. But to be in a society right now where I'm experiencing something that I could never imagine, well, I could imagine in this country, but never being broadcast like it is right now. As for Selena, she has every right to say what she wants to say. And sometimes I say to myself, social media has taken over. And I'm here with you guys now on social media. And it's like, yeah, you could say anything behind a screen, but, just say it to my face. But it's like, again, I'm at a loss for words, just like James and just like a lot of other people on here. What I'm seeing now, I have not seen today until this point in time.
Well, as we said, again, I hate to keep saying it, but the cruelty is the point. Lemon Legends, you guys are our heroes. Can you guys speak to, let's see, Nicole, can you speak to how important it is for folks to support independent media, to get the word out, to be able to bring them the news in an unfiltered, unbiased way, not touched by corporate America, corporate elites, and with no false equivalence? Can you talk about the importance of that?
Let's talk about it. I'm finding it, Don. I'm finding it. Well, we all know we're doing it here. I just signed up for Zateo, right?
Our friend Mehdi Hassan, who was on Friday.
Yeah, Mehdi, I'm down with Mehdi. I just signed up this week. 1440, I just subscribed. And I'm paid subscription with Mehdi. So, and I'm checking out the budget for February to see who else I can support come the end of February to see what we can do. Because, and if that means that, oh Lord, I might have to let go of Netflix. Lord Jesus, help me, Lord. But whatever we have to do, because it's becoming increasingly obvious that if you want to be able to get an unfiltered report of what is actually happening, and also be able to hear from persons like yourself who have no investment other than I'm just trying to live my life and see my fellow man live and flourish. Independent media is the only way you're going to get it. And that's on everything. Independent media is the only way you're going to get it. And if you don't see that by now, you're not paying attention. And that's not to insult anyone's intelligence. That's just to wake us up to the reality of where we are. Will it always be this way? I have no idea, but it is that way right now. So right now, we need to find a way to make the investment, whatever level you're able to do it. Get together and pool your resources. Get with your friends. You guys get together. Share a subscription, do what you have to do, but somehow support these efforts. They're the only way we're going to be able to stay on top of what's happening, and to do so in a manner that is not fear-mongering, because that's the other thing. Sensationalism is what sells with other news networks. This is just, okay, here's what you need to know. Everybody calm down. Here's what you need to know, though.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to sell it, Don.
Nicole, no, you did it. Thank you. That's why I want to say, so if you're on here, make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you hit the like buttons, you follow us on social media. If you're watching us on TikTok, make sure you smash the heart, and wherever you are, become a subscriber. We're on YouTube every day, twice a day, live, where we talk very openly and very honestly. And so make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow us, and make sure you become a member. It's in the top of our chat. May Money, what say you?
I just wanted to just ditto everything Nicole said, but I want to kind of get even closer into it. So I woke up this morning and realized that I have a pretty decent following for myself on my social media, and I've been for a while just posting little clippets of things that I find out. And I reach not this huge platform, but I reach the people that, follow me on my social media. And I did realize that a lot of people didn't, even though they voted for Kamala and they're not like MAGA people, they still didn't know all the craziness that was going on. They didn't know that he was over here singing Ave Maria for 45 minutes and talking about deportation and tariffs and all. They didn't know any of that. And so if we can at least just reach the small pockets of people, even the ones that are on the right side aren't educated, aren't aware of what's going on. So we really have to just like network, even just within our small communities, because half of these people are like, I really wish I would have known that, but it's too late now, and now we got to deal with a whole different situation because of the lack of education that people have on just basic things. Don't even get started with people Googling, can I change my vote the day after the election, and what are tariffs and what, all that. I mean, just basic, like they didn't know this dude was such a madman because they weren't paying attention. And that's how we got here. That's exactly how we got here, is a lack of education and awareness.
It certainly is. Thank you for your support of independent media, especially Happy. Happy is in the chats now saying, where were the voices of the famous Black Brown during the Get Out the Vote? It is a bit too late unless they're going to vote better in all elections. I do have a heart, but too many Black Brown citizens fell for the Trump lies. We spoke about that this morning on our live, Happy. Thank you for that. I really, really appreciate your support of independent media. Welcome to the Elimination, YLG. We appreciate you. Who else is a member? Welcome, Angela Miller, to the Elimination, became a new subscriber just now. Cherry Hill, welcome to the Elimination, became a new subscriber. And Kimberly Eisler, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate all of you and your support of independent media. It means the world to us. Okay, I have something I want to report to you. And this is, remember we were just talking last week about Donald Trump pardoning and either pardoning and or commuting the sentences of all the January 6th insurrectionist criminals, including the most violent. And this has just come across on the breaking news. An Indiana man recently pardoned by President Donald Trump for storming the Capitol on January 6, 2021, is dead after being shot by a sheriff's deputy while allegedly resisting arrest. According to the report, the Indiana man recently pardoned by Donald Trump for his participation in the Capitol riot, shot unalived a traffic stop by a sheriff's deputy on Sunday. His name is Matthew Huddle, 42, involved in a traffic stop at 4:15 p.m. on Sunday by a deputy with Jasper County Sheriff's Department. According to the press release, Huddle allegedly resisted arrest during the traffic stop and was found to have a firearm on him. The altercation took place between the suspect and the officer, which resulted in the officer firing his weapon and fatally wounding the suspect, the release said. So, the interesting thing in all of this is that they are parading folks they call violent criminals in front of the cameras and arresting them and putting them on television and interrogating them live on Dr. Phil or putting them on Fox News. But the folks who are involved in January 6th who are convicted of crimes, remember the folks are accused of crimes in this country, but the folks who are convicted of crimes, at least 1,500 of them have been pardoned, not paraded in front of cameras unless they wanted to go in front of cameras. Do you see what I'm talking about? And the hypocrisy in this? And the showman, this is a show that they want. Lemon Legends, I appreciate you guys. Did you get to say everything you wanted to say today before I let you go? You did? I'm going to call you by name. Let me know. Everybody's going to get their chance. Warren, you want to say something? Go.
I'm just I don't know if I'm being not ignorant, but because I don't want to hear it, I'm saying I don't know where I stand with, just the constant barrage of all of what we're talking about. Psychologically for me, each day that I wake up, I say, oh, here we go again. And I've been in this world quite a number of years, but at this point in time, I'm saying, when does it stop and when do I stop listening? And I don't know if I'm at a loss to continue to just listen. And is that good or bad? I'm asking you guys now.
No. We weigh that we just weighed that before of how much of this news we wanted to bring you up. I felt like we were barraging you with, but I want you to know the full story so that you don't have to be bombarded with it everywhere you go. You don't have to go to other places. You can do it if you want to, right? You should read many things. You should subscribe to other channels. As Nicole said, you should get Zateo, a bunch of folks, if you want to do it. If you want to go on Midas, whatever you want to do, you should be able to do that. But I don't think that you need to be bombarded where you sit in front of the television all day and just take it in and become enraged by it. I don't think it's good for your spirit. I don't think it's good for your soul. So everybody get a chance to say what they wanted to say. May Money, you had your hand up. Did you want to say something?
I was just gonna say, criminals always end up back in jail at some point, Don. I just wanted, how much you want to bet a good little percentage of them gonna be back in jail on something else like pretty quick.
Especially if they got off, they never learned. What about Natasha Williams? What did you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say that, I knew something was going to happen with the J6, but I didn't expect it to be this quick. And I did not expect the person that came out was going to be the one that would be harmed. I thought it would be, one of them hurting someone else. So even this whole administration, I knew it would be bad, but I didn't know it would be this bad, this quick.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot we've had for 1 week going into a second week. Maureen?
Yeah, I would agree that I didn't think it would all happen this quick. I don't see how they can even get their own act together to do it correctly. But I do want to say your show is very important to me.
Thank you.
And to our community. So thank you. And he disappeared.
Oh, I'm here.
So thank you, Don.
No,
You're
thank
here?
you.
Okay.
I'm here, and I appreciate it. And look, you guys mean the world to me. We've built a fantastic community over the past 10 months, and we're going to continue to do it. Look at our subscribership. We're growing by leaps and bounds, and we're going to continue to grow because we're not insulting people's intelligence. I saw, who else had their hand up and wanted to say something? Was it Nicole?
James did, and I did, but James did. I wanted James to go ahead and go.
James,
Can you hear me?
I hate to be the skunk at the garden party, but quickly because we're over time. Go ahead, James.
I just want to apologize for my technical difficulties because I'm in the car doing this, and it's
if you
so
saw my
important.
show yesterday, I did a show without producers yesterday, just a little impromptu live from my house. I couldn't get anything right, James. So we're very forgiving here. This is a real.
No, I
this is
know I
real
was on
talk.
it, but this is a little bit different. And I wanted to say, I've said it before, this is therapeutic. So we need to be recruiters at this point, if nothing else, to get them on this show so people can feel better, so people can talk before we're going to have to mobilize. And I don't say mobilize in a fight. I'm saying that, mobilize with each other mentally and figure out how we're going to weather this, because I'm not glad that this guy was shot today, but I'm glad that all these J6 people who got pardoned, they feel empowered and above the law as well. And clearly this guy wasn't above the law resisting arrest, and hopefully it will set an example. That's it. And again, I apologize for my mess in the car here, but I'm in the car.
No need to apologize. We're very forgiving in elimination. Nicole Cox, yes, please.
Yeah, just really quickly. I think in this time we need to really discipline ourselves as far as what we intake and how we intake it. And when it comes to all of Warren, speaking to what you're talking about, yeah, there's a lot of negative stuff. Listen, know what your capacity is. And for every one negative piece of anything that you take in 2 to 3 pieces of positive for yourself, whether it's a positive activity, whether it's reading, whatever your hobby is, to counteract the one. So if I watch my hot topics at 11, and I yell at the TV and throw my socks at it and say, Don, why? Then after that, I go do my workout. I read my favorite book. I do my journal writing, because I need to do all three of those things to counteract all of that negative that I just took in. I talk to my girlfriend. I do whatever I have to do, because you have to manage it. And if I don't have enough activities lined up for myself to counteract what I want to watch on the news that day, I skip the news. I
There
just
you
skip
go.
the news. I skip it
It'll
because
be
I
there
don't
when
have
you get
enough
right.
to.
It'll be there when you come back. Yeah.
It'll be there
So
when I
where
pick it
are
back
you
up.
watching us at 11? Are you in the time zone?
Not
ahead of us?
11:10. My bad,
Yeah,
baby. My bad, baby. I said the wrong time. My bad. It's 10, y'all. It's 10. It's 10.
Thank you
Sometimes
all.
I do have to catch it at 11, though.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. As long as you catch it. Thank you all. I appreciate it. It's good, Lemon Legends. I appreciate you. Okay. Glad that you are the highest tier of our membership. We love you. Thank you, Legends. Okay. So the folks who are in the chat, we appreciate you joining us as well. If you're in green and you're in the chat, that means that you are a member to this channel. And we love that you're a member. So make sure you, as you heard what James says, you have to recruit others to come to the channel. Invite them in to become members or to subscribe. So hit the thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you do what? Check out our social media and follow us, because we have some things that aren't here. And we have different tiers of membership where you get special programming. But we appreciate all of you. We love you. Thank you for helping us to build a Lemon Nation. Thank you for becoming Lemon Heads. And I love you for watching. We'll see you at 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning for Hot Topics. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.